Are you craving a trip on Space Mountain? Well, we've got the next best thing. Welcome to Dizney Coast to Coast.
Hey folks, and welcome to Dizney Coast to Coast, the ultimate unofficial Disney fan podcast. I'm Jeff DePauli, and today on the show, I have my good friend, themed entertainment show writer Rick West joining me to talk all about Aulani, a Disney resort and spa. So let's jump into that right now.
It's time to dive into today's Disney dialogue.
Okay, so you got back just a couple weeks ago.
I went really quick. I went just for a few days, just as a refresher. I went
to Hawaii in general.
Yeah, I went to Oahu for my very first time. I've got some great friends that live on Oahu, and shout out to Angelina and Noah. And
are they going to become listeners now because of that?
Well, they better.
Okay, they better.
They better. And they own like the largest haunt in Hawaii. It's called the Haunted Plantation on Oahu, and so that's kind of how I know them through the whole TPA and Midsummer stuff. And for years I've known these guys.
Gotcha.
And they wanted me to come out and visit, so they flew me out and took care of me, and it was a really great few days that I was there. They're locals there, so in 72 hours, I think I saw everything that there is to see on the island. It was just nonstop, and it was my first time to Hawaii. It was. Oahu is where my grandmother passed away last year just before Midsummer, and she actually grew up on Oahu.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So last year was fairly personally tumultuous for me, and just ending the year, kind of seeing where she grew up and becoming one, with Hawaii and the island and all that. It was very spiritual in a way. It was very closing of a circle for me last year.
There is something about Hawaii that is just spiritual in a way that even people who aren't spiritual, it's hard to leave Hawaii. It's miserably hard.
I was there and I was wandering the streets thinking, I'm not wandering the streets. You get an image in your head. Well, Rick's tied one on. He's wandering Waikiki in the middle of the night. But no, I was walking through just going, I could live here. Yeah. I mean, it's really, really great.
I am curious, though, because, let's face it, we live in a place that is very much a vacation spot for many people. Sure. We live in Los Angeles. Same with folks who live in Orlando. I always wonder, is it because it's an awesome place that you're I could live there and legitimately live there, or does that magic go away real quickly? I still think LA is a really cool place. I've lived here for years now, but
I hate LA.
So I love LA.
I'm here because of the industry, and that's what I do. But I
love it. There's so much to do.
There is, but
so much, and if you're
also brings so much traffic and so many people, and so blah blah blah, and so expensive.
That doesn't bother me.
Repulsively expensive here.
Expensive, yes. Yeah. But
Hawaii is repulsively expensive too with things.
Yeah.
So, except
pineapple.
Here was the shocker.
And coconut.
Here was the shocker.
What?
Their gas on the way to the airport. There was a gas station that we passed. It was $2.67.
Oh.
It's because California, we tax the hell out of our gas here, and I'm we're almost at $4. Hawaii, I thought would be $5 or $6 a gallon. Oh no, it was under $3 there, and I'm how the hell does that work?
Interesting.
It was really weird. So that threw me off. That was weird. But anyway, we'll circle this back.
Yeah.
So on my Grand Circle tour of the island of Oahu, we went to
Aulani, a Disney resort and spa.
Oh God. But so we did that, and we spent about 4 hours exploring the resort. We had drinks on the beach. We watched the sunset from the beach. We had dinner at the restaurant there. Now you have the names written down here.
Yes.
It's Maka, what is it?
The restaurant is called Ama Ama, the contemporary.
No, that's
Makahiki?
Yeah, Makahiki is where we at. And we, unfortunately for me, it was a character dinner night.
Okay.
So normally it's just I guess it's a buffet or whatever. Yeah. But it was on top of that, it was character. So a million kids running. I'm sure there are a million kids anyway. But there were tons of kids. But it was fine. It wasn't bad, and the characters came around. They were fine. It was Chip and Dale and Stitch was wandering around. That was fine. And we wandered. We watched, and we'll get into this, but we watched the kids doing the interactive stuff.
There is so much to do at Aulani. So I actually stayed at Aulani in 2013. Okay. So just it opened in 2011. I stayed a couple years after, maybe a year and a half after. And so we're kind of coming at this from two different angles. I was actually a guest at the resort. You were visiting. And this is something that I want to touch upon because I think a lot of people don't realize this. First of all, it's located in Aulani, Hawaii, which is on the island of Oahu. And so if you are visiting that island, even if you cannot afford to stay at Aulani, you must go visit. It is totally possible. They are totally okay with it.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to pay for parking.
Yep.
And they're going to sell you alcohol and food and whatever.
But we did get we self-parked. They validate if you eat at the restaurant.
Okay.
So I don't think we didn't pay. I don't think we paid for anything for parking.
Oh, wow.
And we were there like 4 hours.
There you go. So even better. Even if you got to pay to park.
Yeah.
Go. Because this place, in my mind, is Joe Rohde's masterpiece. I know most people would say Disney's Animal Kingdom is Joe Rohde's masterpiece. I am obsessed with Aulani. I'm the type of guy that goes to a resort, and that's the place for me to sleep while I go on adventures. I never wanted to leave this resort because it is so stunningly beautiful. Hawaii is so stunningly beautiful. There is so much stuff to do if you're staying there that's free that it's just nuts. And I guess we'll get into it. But I do want to touch on something right from the top. There's a slogan that Disney came up with about Aulani. I'm curious whether or not you would agree with this. They call it an authentic Hawaiian experience with a touch of Disney magic.
Boy, I would say it's probably more than a touch.
You think so?
Well, you're at Disney.
See, I didn't feel it, and this may have changed. Like I said, I went in 2013, so this may have changed. But the only things where I was like, oh, you're at Disney, were when you saw the characters, which when I was there, wasn't a ton. As you mentioned, there's a character meal. At the time I went, I think it was only breakfast, so maybe they've added a dinner since then. And they did have characters out every once in a while. But like, the Mickey stuff that's around is really hidden or worked into the design really simply.
There's a big Stitch carving.
Yes, but that's not that big. And that's a tiny little corner of Aulani.
Yeah.
If you walked into the lobby, which we'll talk about in a second, looked at that beautiful view, and you didn't see a character walking around, you would not know you're in a Disney resort.
Let's add on to that. I wouldn't know that I was at a Disney resort if I had not been to Animal Kingdom Lodge or Wilderness Lodge.
Okay, because they're that beautiful.
It feels in the design. It feels like it's a sibling to those.
I think it's more beautiful than most. Although
but it feels like a sibling.
Sure.
Well, there's always a better looking sibling.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? You walk in, and to me, it's like, oh, well, this is obviously the sister of Animal Kingdom Lodge.
That lobby, brings tears to people's eyes.
Very pretty.
Literally.
It's very pretty.
It's all open air. There's, the doors are open. It's Hawaii. They're letting the breeze through.
Yeah.
It's got this beautifully peaked ceiling in there. They're playing this song that I'm obsessed with. You must have heard it, like their theme song. It's in Hawaiian. It was actually written by a Hawaiian musician.
You have the album? I listened to the album on Spotify, right?
So here's the thing about this song. It's really interesting because I actually have an album that was purchased, but this theme song they cannot sell because it was they worked very closely with the Hawaiian public there, and there's just the culture of Hawaii is very much present in Aulani. Yep. And because of that, they were gifted a song by a musician. Now, this song became the theme song of Aulani, but because it was a gift, Disney doesn't have the rights to sell this song.
Oh, gotcha.
So any album you buy, which they do sell an album, and I do have it, that's like Disney tunes on the ukulele or whatever. So it doesn't...
It's like the Circle Sessions, right?
Exactly.
It's the Hawaiian version of the Carthay. Yeah.
Exactly. So you can't buy that song. And I was really bummed by this because I love this song. And one of the cool things, I don't know if they still do this.
They should gift it to everybody. They should have it. Well, there you go.
When I got home from Aulani, they emailed us a digital copy of the song.
How cool is that? See?
Amazing. That was a touch of Disney magic that was really unexpected.
And you play that every day in the shower.
It's absolutely...
Right? You just turn the music on and just...
It's not abnormal for me to listen to it. It is not abnormal. I love that song. It's
there you go.
So I think that's cool. And I even asked them, I said, why can't I buy this song? And they explained to me this reason of it was a gift. But I love that lobby when you walk in.
It's beautiful.
That view outside is unbelievable.
So we got there as the sun was starting to set.
Oh, goodness.
So we walked in and the entire lobby was just washed in this literally, it's no joke when you say it's the golden sunshine,
Yeah.
Everything was just golden and brown. And warm. The climate. So the climate in general in Hawaii was interesting to me. I guess I just didn't give it much thought, but I got off the airplane and I'm like, oh, it's Orlando. It feels
warm.
like you're getting off in Orlando.
Sure.
And my friends say that nobody owns jackets in Hawaii because it never dips below 70, like literally.
Yeah.
If it goes to
Did you go in the ocean?
If it goes to 65, it's like the big chill. People are walking. They see people walk around in parkas and scarves, and I'm like, really? And they're like, yeah, it's nuts. But it never. I mean, so I was there 3 days. So one day was perfect. The day that we did Aulani. The next day was just pissing rain. It was raining so like sideways. Torrential, and my watch kept going off with like I'd never heard of flood alert on my watch because California,
Yeah.
But my watch going off, and I'm like, what's going on with my watch? But it was warm. I mean, it was never like, oh, it's cold, or anything. It was just, so they just don't. And no, I didn't do the water. I didn't do the water this time.
Well, you mentioned it feels like Florida with the heat and the humidity and stuff. When you get in the ocean,
it's like bath water.
It's like bath water.
Yeah.
And I grew up in Massachusetts where like even in the summer, in the middle of August, it's like, okay, get numb and get used to the water and then enjoy it. This is like jumping into a hot bath. It's
or a swimming pool where all the kids have peed.
Yeah,
in the swimming pool. There's that too.
Either way, you're getting a warm little adventure there for you.
We're looking at each other awkwardly here.
So
derail so hard right there.
So you think the statement of a touch of Disney magic is a lie? Because I think it's
no. Well, but see,
I think it's so on point.
But I went into it knowing, okay, we're going to the Disney Resort. Blah blah blah.
Everybody does though.
But I'm just saying, because I'm so used to Florida and I'm so used to obviously Disneyland Resort here, that to me it just. Like, even when I was in Shanghai, the minute you're on property, you just know, because suddenly everything's manicured, everything's landscaped.
Sure.
It has that looks like, feels like, right, when you're there. It has that Disney there.
But what I'm saying is you don't walk in and it doesn't feel like a kid's birthday party. Like, it doesn't feel like the Magic Kingdom.
No.
Or anything.
But there are things like Animal Kingdom. Like, you go to Animal Kingdom in Florida, and it's a whole other level of, let's call it sophistication, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't see Animal Kingdom. I like Animal Kingdom like Epcot. They're not kid parks, right?
Sure.
It's not like you're going to the Magic Kingdom, where there's characters everywhere, blah, blah, No, just walking into Aulani, it's like, it's hard to say. No, I think it was just that level. It was just that level, and just knowing that we were obviously at Disney.
Yeah.
I mean, that's hard to put out of your mind. But no, I mean, just the landscaping. God, let's talk about the lazy river.
Okay, the lazy river is fun.
Jesus, it's beautiful down there.
Now, I will preface this by saying if you're a visitor,
Yeah.
if you're not staying at the resort, you do not get to enjoy these.
You have to have a
amenities.
wristband.
Yes. So every morning I would have to get a wristband. It was a different color wristband each
Every
day I
day,
was there.
sure.
And it was really kind of funny because like there were these kids who had who would just keep them on day after day. So they had an armful of
Sure.
wristbands. And I would be like, oh my God, that kid's been here for 12 days or whatever.
yeah.
But it was so cool. And the wristband, I actually kept it on for several weeks after I left because it was my favorite souvenir. I did not love the souvenirs they had available. Not my favorite.
I thought the shops were okay, and I thought it was interesting that there was one high-end shop and one run-of-the-mill shop. The one thing that I looked for that I would have bought in a heartbeat,
What's that?
like the making of or the art of book, right?
Yeah.
With concept sketches and maybe Joe, reminiscing about things or what, and it just doesn't exist.
They do have an art exhibit though,
Right, but not a book. I wanted
they don't have a book.
I wanted to take the coffee table book. But Disney doesn't do that with a lot of their stuff. Disney has never had an Animal Kingdom book. Right?
Yeah.
There's never been like a definitive big Epcot book, and they just don't do that. And like you go outside of like Shanghai.
Yeah.
Oh no, you can't. Like when I went to Shanghai, I could barely even find logo wear. They just don't. It doesn't exist. It's weird.
My guess is with those coffee table books, they're expensive to make. What do you sell them for?
Disney owns how many publishing?
Sure. I'm just saying, what would it cost the consumer? $100 for one of those books? Whereas sell
I don't know. I have the new beautiful the Taschen book, the Disneyland book, and that was like $50.
Okay, so $50. I just feel like with the small, thin paperback, whatever they decide to make, they can charge $10 for. They'll sell way more of those.
Well, they didn't even have that though.
Yeah,
right.
In general, Aulani, like I said, I went pretty early on, so a lot of the time I was just saying, maybe they just don't have this yet. But it sounds like they still don't. I don't think I bought any merchandise when I was there, to be completely honest, because I didn't love their merch. It was kind of a disappointment. So I kept their wristband on as long as it would stay, and after a few weeks it fell off. But yes, and in any case, to ride the lazy river, to use the pools and all that stuff, you do need a wristband.
You do, yeah.
And rightfully so. I would say otherwise it would be overrun by people just visiting for the day. The other thing is the beach that they have. So they have
the little cove is beautiful.
Yeah, they have all the chairs out there.
Yep.
And once again, you need a wristband to use one of their chairs. But here's something a lot of people don't know.
We didn't.
Did you use the chairs?
Yeah, dude. We just got our drink and sat there and watched the sunset.
Oh man, you had a slow.
There was nobody nobody there.
When I was there, there were definitely people watching.
But
here's what I will say.
No, but I mean, there's nobody in the chairs. There were scattered people, but no, most of the chairs were empty.
Well, that's good.
So we just plopped down.
Well, there you go. But I will say, a lot of people don't know this, but every beach in Hawaii is a public beach, even if there's a resort on it. So they cannot kick you off of the beach. You can show up there with your towel, jump in the ocean, and stay on your towel, and they cannot kick you out of there. So
breaking the law.
It's not breaking the law. That's the point.
We're breaking the law.
You cannot own
Polly here on Disney Coast to Coast.
No, I'm not breaking the law.
Breaking the law.
You can
gonna go to Mickey jail.
You cannot in Mickey jail.
Mickey jail.
You cannot own the beachfront in Hawaii. So that's something to keep in mind.
And it's interesting though, because the resort there is nestled between two other resorts.
So this is something
they're looming over.
This is something I want to talk about, because the commercials for Aulani, at least the original,
make it look like it's on its own island. Practically,
they do
right?
a very good job making it look like it's its own little thing. But there are 3 other resorts around it, very close by,
like throwing distance. Like you're right there.
I think I walked to all of them, and by far Aulani is the nicest. They're all really nice, but Aulani is has that authentic Hawaii
it's
feel.
New. You can tell it's new, right? I mean,
but
it looks newer compared to the others that were.
Maybe
there was one that was hanging out. Like if you're looking out at the ocean, there was one off to the right, and I don't know which one it was.
Yeah,
but you could tell it had been there for a while.
Yeah, it was interesting to me though that none of them Aulani is Hawaii, where these are nice resorts you could have plopped anywhere.
That's all. I've only been once, and I've only been. I stayed at the Ala Moana in Honolulu, in Waikiki there. They're all kind of nondescript.
Yeah,
they're just big refrigerator-looking buildings,
which is crazy to me.
Well, they've been there forever. Number one,
yeah,
and they don't need to be, right?
I guess so.
But you're a 5-minute walk to the water, to the beach, famous beaches, right? You don't need to have a big themed resort.
I guess that's kind of my point. Is that the way it's always been done in the past is you go to Hawaii, you stay at a nice resort, but you leave the resort during the day and do stuff. Aulani, for me, was a really different experience, and I am not a relaxer.
Yeah, I was surprised when you told me that you just hung out.
I am not a relaxer at all when it comes to... I'm used to Disney vacations. I'm used to get up early, go to a theme park.
Go. Yeah.
So, me just sitting and relaxing, that's not my jam. I couldn't help but do that at Aulani. I never wanted to leave that resort. I did.
You know what my favorite thing about Aulani was?
What?
No fast passes.
No fast.
You don't have to worry about. You don't have to worry about getting anywhere with a fast pass.
It's so
that
relaxing.
Was my favorite. And so what is really weird, I think, also about visiting this resort is it's the only one of its kind that is not attached to any kind of theme park resort.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I know it, when Disney Vacation Club first started, that was always their plan. I mean, their plan is to have a resort in every single state in the country.
Well, and they should. They could.
They apparently had space in New York City.
Wow.
And sold it. Wow. And that frustrates me. I guess they crunched the numbers and they're like, this doesn't make sense for us. But I'm like, are you kidding me? You literally, since the late 90s, have had at least 2 shows on Broadway at a time.
And how cool would it be to go to a Disney resort in New York and have a punched up version of Boardwalk and have it Coney Island?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
dude, hello.
Cool. I don't know if that would necessarily fit in Times Square, but regardless, I want a
Who cares? It's awesome. It fits in the middle of Orlando. Why couldn't, right? Come on.
I want a
placemaking, Jeff.
I definitely want a DVC resort in Times Square or in New York City. Hands down, they should. They've had enough Broadway stuff going on. But
Aulani is the only. It's the only one that's that level that's
They wanted to do more of that.
not attached to a park.
They were starting to do it. I was reading about this recently. They were starting to do it other locations in Florida, not near the theme parks, and then they just weren't selling, or they did the studies before they even built it and found out it wasn't going to sell. So they just started building more and more and more.
It's not exotic enough. Like if I'm going to do that, I want to go to Disney's, Costa Rican adventure. I want to go to Jurassic Park, basically, right? Yeah.
Right.
You want to go to or I can imagine them doing something really beautiful and cool, like in Italy or in Greece, or just something really cool, because
they're kind of
it's intimidating to travel. Like
Sure.
I don't travel a lot, so it's intimidating. But if you know that you're going to a Disney resort somewhere, you kind of feel like you're going home, right?
Well,
like you're familiar with the brand.
That's their slogan, right? Welcome home.
Well, there you go.
If you're Disney Vacation Club.
There you go.
Everywhere you go, welcome home, welcome home.
So I think that, I can't imagine that it's not profitable for them.
So what they've done, what it seems to me is that's what Adventures by Disney is. You're familiar with that?
Yeah.
So they basically said, okay, let's get rid of the risk of building our own resort. And they basically send out their people. They partner up with people, and it's the best of the best. I've never done an Adventures by Disney. I would like to, but it's really, really expensive. And but they do that. They go all over the world. They actually did one in Boston recently, which is like my hometown. And I was like, that's kind of cool. They did one out here that I kind of wanted to tag along with, but you really had to buy the whole package. Like you had to stay at the places they were telling you. And I was like, can I just tag along and go to Jim Henson's studio and all?
Yeah.
Like they did some pretty cool things. But yeah, I think that's kind of what Adventures by Disney is doing. There is tons of free stuff to do. As you mentioned, the Lazy River is there. They also have Aunties Beach House, which is a place for kids to hang out. Did you see any of this stuff going on? Auntie and Uncle are like a really big part of it. Like they really
I don't know if I did
push this family thing. It's it's amongst the now. Let me ask you, as somebody who was visiting, were you able to walk essentially the entire resort, or
Yes.
were there? Okay, so you could walk through and past the Lazy River. You just couldn't get in.
Oh yeah, we walked all over the place.
Okay.
We went looking for the Pico Rock, and we went. Yeah, we went, sat in one of the bars. We got drinks, so we went down and plopped down on the beach and watched the sunset. And
so it's pretty much the way that people will resort hop at Walt Disney World.
Oh, yeah.
You can do that just with Aulani.
We spent about 4 hours, I think it was, doing it. Yeah,
Okay.
it was great. And it was great. Oh, and so we're walking on this back pathway. It was after the sun had already set. It was dark. And Hawaii's got a lot of feral cats. Mm-hmm. And, we have the Disneyland cats. And, you can follow them on Instagram. Right?
Yeah.
I found the Aulani cat, and I was like...
There's a Twitter account or an Instagram?
No, it walked right up to me on a
Okay.
path. And it was talking to him. I was like, baby, you're so pretty. And meow, meow, meow. It let me pick it up.
Oh, gosh.
Dude, I'm like...
You're crazier than me. I wouldn't have done that.
Well, I could tell. I put my hand out, and she was like rubbing on my hand. And I was like, you're pretty tame for a feral, cat, but it's a Disney cat.
Yeah.
So, but I picked it up and everything, and it was purring. I thought, oh, you're really sweet.
Yeah.
So that was a bonus for animal lovers. But we even walked into the Noah and Angelina. They wanted to take a look at the spa, so we walked into where the spa was.
Yep.
Oh, we walked everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of great stuff to do. Auntie's Beach House, as I mentioned, has kids activities. They do outdoor movies there, like a lot of the resorts do. I remember sitting in the garden there. They have off-site excursions, of course. There's tons to do off-site in Hawaii, and they can accommodate all that stuff for you. They do have snorkeling. This is an added fee. Supposedly, I believe it's the only private, separate snorkeling area and on that island.
Wow.
From what I've heard.
Okay.
I didn't do it, but I forget how much it was, but it was really pretty. And you probably saw it. They have areas with the giant glass windows so you can look in at the people snorkeling. Do you remember seeing that?
No.
Okay. It's in the middle of the whole pool area and everything.
No, we didn't see that.
Okay. Now, of course, it being a Joe Rohde project, one of his signature things, it seems like, is carvings into...
Yeah.
So the Tree of Life has the animals in the tree
Yes.
bark. There are lots of...
This big rock formation
aquarium.
thing, it has
Yeah.
a name. And
Well, the man-made volcano thing?
that's not a volcano.
Yeah, I don't know the name
But
of it.
there is a name. These are all Hawaiian names, and they're all 80 characters long.
That's my
So,
problem. Tangent.
They're all Mikaleka High Mekahani.
Yeah,
Oh, that's what
so
they're called.
that's my issue with Volcano Bay at Universal, which I love. Their water park, love.
I wrote
Volcano
about
Bay.
that. I wrote about what you're about to say,
I had no idea what anything was.
and you couldn't remember. Everything became, oh, let's go on the blue slide.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go on that green slide.
Drives
the
me
names,
nuts.
forget it. Forget it.
I just kept having to say, what's the one that like launches you in the air and like, they're like, oh, that one.
That one's called Make a Poo Poo.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, and
always classy with Rick West, ladies and
oh,
gentlemen.
Maka Poo Poo. It wasn't Make a Poo Poo. That was too blatant. It should have been Maka Poo Poo. Although there is one. Wait, there is. I'm joking, but you know what? There is a slide that is named something like that. That's very... Yes, that is very tongue-in-cheek like that.
Here's the thing. I cannot remember the names of any of them. So, like...
We're going to look it up afterwards. But
okay, but that's
now we've gone to Universal. Now we've gone to the complete opposite end of the spectrum.
No, that's fine, though. But that's just... It's bad marketing, is what I'm saying.
It was very challenging.
You should be able to know the names of attractions when you're going
I wrote a piece that ended up in I wrote it for TPA, but then I think we also put it in Park Magazine.
Okay.
And I don't know whether we kept that in or not, but I said that one of the biggest challenges was... you couldn't remember a thing as far as like what names of any of the rides or, the slides or whatever were called.
Yeah.
And to me, that was just really challenging.
Yeah. So let's go back to Aulani then. And you were talking about the crazy names for these things. You just looked some up. What's the name of their whole like pool play area? They have a name for that. What's that one?
Well, and I'm staring right at it and I'm fairly good at English, but it's again, Hawaiian words, dude, forget it. So, Waikahole? Waikahole?
Waikolohe. Waikolohe.
Waipalugi. What?
No. Hawaiian translation, mischievous water.
Yeah.
Waikolohe. Yeah.
There you go. Waikahole Valley.
Waikolohe, not Waikahole. Waikolohe. Look at it.
This just
there's an L.
It just gets worse. It's like a drinking game. It just devolves. It gets worse and worse the more you say these names.
So it's hard to say, and it's even harder to remember these things.
Oh yeah, I can remember it looking at it.
But in any case, all of this rock work, as I mentioned, covered in the Joe Rohde, like, you don't necessarily see it. It doesn't stick out. But then when you're looking, you're like, oh, look, there's a fish or whatever. And that's all over.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was very signature Rohde. Didn't he like live in Hawaii for a period of time? Not but like before this project?
I think so.
If I'm remembering correctly, he actually lived there. So like the Hawaiian culture is definitely steeped in this resort.
Oh yeah,
I love it. You said you were there at nighttime, right as the sun was setting.
Yeah.
Did you happen to see Uncle telling his stories over by the fire pit?
I did, and
isn't that cool?
I was distracted by the Moana walking by me.
Moana's there now. So Disney.
I was like, aloha.
Now Disney does very kind of nicely have a couple of characters that really fit at Aulani, right?
Oh,
of
sure.
course, Mickey and Minnie are going to be there in the Fab Five, but they have Moana now.
Yep.
Lilo and Stitch, 1,000% appropriate, and I kind of love the fact that those characters are appropriate and are there because, to me, it's kind of like. And I enjoy this, but it so doesn't make any sense that, the new thing in Dinoland USA at Animal Kingdom with Donald's Dino Bash, where they're really pushing it to fit some characters in that area. To me, Aulani doesn't need to do that.
No.
Other than the Fab Five,
it's organic. It's totally organic. Yeah, it's totally organic. And who doesn't love? I mean, Moana. I love that so much. Not the girl. I'm talking about the film.
Oh, do you?
The film. Oh, yeah.
Not one of my favorites.
Oh no. See, to me, so it was like I felt that it was so overshadowed by the marketing machine of Frozen. Like I thought that Moana is scores better than Frozen.
I saw Moana once in theaters, and that's it.
Oh my god! Like the soundtrack, I listened to it a lot at home. The signature song.
The signature song's great.
Beautiful. But it's so much better than Let It Go.
Well, I don't know. Let It Go's a great song. It's just an overplayed song.
I just think,
I think Frozen's...
That's a whole other... But I mean...
Frozen's great. It's
Frozen
just overdone.
was so ramrodded down everyone's throat.
Speaking of, did you hear that there's going to be a female Olaf?
Can't wait. What do you want me to say to that? I don't like the male Olaf.
This is just fairly new news. They actually hired a woman to portray the role of Olaf on Broadway.
So it's Ola.
No, it's still
that
Olaf.
gets into like the whole Mexican thing. Ola.
Oh yes,
no, we've come to see the Coco play. No, it's Frozen. But it's just Ola.
It's Olaf. Olaf on Broadway will be a woman. So just saying, this is new news. Well, it's new at the time of recording. So
Broadway mixes things up. They like shaking things up.
Well, also,
Black Hermione, right?
Well, but also the character is the character's really the puppet. Right, yeah. Because it's done just like it's done at Disney California Adventure. So the character's the puppet. The character's not changing.
Wait, what do you mean it's a puppet?
So
Oh my God!
I just ruined it all.
Dude,
I ruined the
totally
magic.
just destroyed the magic.
But in any case, back to Aulani.
Destroying magic coast to coast. That's what it is. It's great.
Is that the new
That's
name
the
of
new
the show?
name. The new season. New season. New slogan.
I don't like
Destroying
that.
the magic coast to coast.
So one of my favorite things at Aulani are the Men Who Hen A.
Yes.
You're familiar with them?
Oh yeah, we looked all over for them. And when you're drinking, it's a great drinking game.
Okay.
After you've had some Hawaiian cocktails, it's amazing.
It's actually a game for children, but
Oh no, it's not. It's a game for us drinking.
the way that they describe it is, as legend has it, the Men Who Hen A are shy, mischievous people of the Hawaiian Islands. And they also have a Men Who Hen A trail where you solve riddles, search for statues, and discover enchantment at every turn along the Men Who Hen A adventure trail.
Saw that, yep.
Hear the legend of the Men Who Hen A come to life. Along the way, you'll learn about the Men Who Hen A, the legendary little people of Hawaii, known for their magical powers and mischief. So these are little wood carvings, probably about, 8 inches tall, maybe?
Sure.
Something like
they
that.
They varied in size.
Yeah.
They varied, yeah.
And they're hidden all around the resort. My favorite one was like in the top corner of the elevator.
We saw it. We went in the elevator.
I love that.
We were roaming.
Yeah.
We saw it in the elevator.
I love it.
Yeah.
That was the one that like surprised me. I always thought they didn't do this, or at least not in my room. I'd love them to like just be in the guest room bathrooms. Like funny with them.
That'd
like,
be amazing.
Like you're in the shower.
No,
and
it's under the toilet lid. So when you open the toilet lid, there's one like hanging onto the, all like frog style. Just hanging onto
absolutely.
That'd be amazing. Right?
So I'm all about like the Men Who Hen A were a blast to search for like your entire trip there. They have a whole little water area themed around the Men Who
that
Hen
I saw.
A.
It was turned off.
Oh, bummer.
But it was
because it was really beautiful.
But it looks like a rickety. It's a water play thing, but it
Yeah.
looks like a rickety thing that these little Men Who Hen A have built.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So I love that. They were one of the highlights for me. I just love the Men Who Hen A. I love the idea of them.
Yeah.
And they're fun. And they even have like an interactive game where you have to go rent out. I actually think you go to Aunties Beach House to rent this. It's an iPad, and you go around the resort, and very much like the Kim Possible thing at Epcot, or Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom, stuff like
or
that.
the pirate one, whatever.
The pirate one, which
Magic Kingdom.
that one's still going, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
You go to different areas, you do stuff on the iPad, answer questions, whatever, and stuff reacts.
It triggers. We saw.
Yeah.
We watched.
Yeah. So I thought that was cool, kind of unexpected. Free once again.
We were looking down like these kids were all crouched around like this almost like a little cave grotto, and there was like water running through it, and they were doing it, and they were like giggling and pointing and everything, and I was with Angela, and we were like looking, and I'm like, I don't see anything happening, and suddenly the kids like squealed and got all excited, and she goes, oh God, that's so cute, there's like turtles, and I was like, I don't see any. Dude, I don't know what I was looking at, but I could. And she's like, "You didn't see it. You missed it. They swam by." I was like, "Oh, girl, I didn't see a thing." So here's a common thread of that. So we went and we got our cocktails to go down.
I was gonna say you had too many drinks in you at that point. Maybe.
First of all, you're in Hawaii. There's no too many. So I went to we got our drink and I got something called the Green Flash.
Okay.
It was really good, and went down. And so the Green Flash. Are you familiar with what a green flash is?
No.
So green flash is at sunset when the last tip of the sun hits the horizon. There's a green flash that can react to the atmosphere, right? So there I am with my green flash, plopped down. I mean, you've maybe seen the picture of the view I had. The sunset was just unreal.
They all are.
It was
in Hawaii.
stupid how unreal it was, right?
That's the tangent real quick. That's the thing about Hawaii. Everybody thinks, oh, this is the most beautiful sunset. Nobody's getting. I'm so lucky to be here. You get this every night almost.
It's amazing.
In Hawaii.
It was
unbelievable.
ridiculous.
But anyway, back.
So I'm taking pictures and posting things on my Instagram story, which is RickWest999, and I missed the green flash.
Oh no!
So there I am, Mr. Tourist. There I am. I got the stupid drink. We got the perfect place, and Angela goes, "Oh, I saw it." I was like, "Oh, I was looking at my phone."
jerk.
My God! Well, I guess I'll have to go back again.
Shut off the phone.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, I was posting my picture of the sunset picture. Oh my God! I couldn't. I was like, well,
I've tried to get in the habit of, you know what? Take the picture, enjoy the moment. You don't need to post it right then and there. Wait till you're going to bed, or wait till the next day. It doesn't matter.
Problem is, it's Insta stories now.
Yeah, whatever.
That's the problem. And I wanted to post a picture. I had my drink and my feet and the sunset, and I wanted to post that. and I missed the.
Here's the
flash.
comforting thing to remember: nobody cares all that much about your Insta story.
Well, you know what? Nobody cares about the green flash.
Everybody cares about.
No,
the
you
green
didn't even
flash.
know what it was.
I didn't.
See,
but a Hawaiian
But you know what my
sunset.
Insta story is?
What?
You just looked at it. You tell me you see it.
Huh? Oh,
So
what?
there you go. So it's important because you looked at it.
Okay.
You look at it. So
Sure.
See?
All right. If I do it, it's
I win
always
that round.
important.
I won that round.
You won? All
won that round.
Now, something else they do if you're staying there, ukulele lessons, which
Wow.
I loved.
So is it ukulele? It's not ukulele?
It is not ukulele. They will tell you time and time again when you're, and it's not Hawaii. What is it? It's Hawaii. Hawaii.
Well, or people say also it's Hawaii, right? They pronounce it with a V.
I didn't hear that when I was there, but I often heard Hawaii. Like this little
it's
pause.
V.
Okay. That one I have not perfected.
That's a whole other weird.
But ukulele is ukulele.
Tomato, Pirates of the Caribbean, Hawaii, Hawaii.
Pirates of the Caribbean, I'm going to the Caribbean.
That's so weird though, right?
Yeah.
It's so weird.
It is weird. Yeah. But no, ukulele is the proper way to say it. And they give lessons there.
That's cool.
Which was awesome. I loved it. I came home with an ukulele. Actually, that's a lie. I later was gifted an ukulele.
It's like the
once I
Harry
got
Potter
home.
one, right? It's like you can learn, but
Never
you gotta
used
buy. But you gotta buy your ukulele.
No,
We'll give you one to hold, but parents, you gotta buy one.
yeah, but
It's the Harry Potter one thing all over again.
So I have an ukulele now that I've never touched since coming home. I would love to. It's just one of those many things that I would love to do. That it's like, oh, you just need time to get good at this. But
do it on the toilet, like toilet time. Just designate what.
No.
You're kind of a captive audience. I'm just saying, you're looking for time. You're not going to do it in the shower.
Rick West.
You're not going to do it while you're laying in bed because you're messing with your phone at that point.
Sure.
Bathroom.
Okay.
That's a phone thing too.
I'll consider it.
Who are we kidding? We know it's a phone thing. But ukulele.
Ukulele.
Yeah.
They teach you ukulele. And
Ukulele.
it's great. Say it correctly. Ukulele.
Ukulele.
Okay. Now say, what was the name of the
Mekaleka Hai Mekahini Ho.
No, not that. The correct one.
Men Who Hen A.
Yes. What?
Isn't that the little people one?
Men Who Hen A. Yeah.
Same thing.
Men Who Hen A.
God.
There's the Men Who Hen A. Now, okay, how have they not merchandised the heck out of the Men Who Hen A? How can I not take home
Could
a
have been
Men Who
like
Hen A?
Snow White and the Men Who Hen A.
Oh, yes. That would have been awesome.
That'd be awesome, right?
I seriously love these. If you don't know what we're talking about, like Google Aulani Men Who Hen A. Men Who Hen A is spelled it's menu and then Hene. Men Who Hen A. So Google that and look up these little people. They're amazing.
The bar is really great there.
So the bar,
they have all these cubby holes, and they have all these.
are they all over?
And they have these everyday objects in there, but everything in there is labeled in Hawaiian.
Okay.
Did you go in there?
Probably. This was a while ago.
It's
And
freaking awesome. Now, that was really cool.
as far as the restaurants are concerned, the big one is Ama Ama, which is the contemporary island cooking table service
And that's the high-end one.
That's the one where you got views.
That's the high-end one, and then there's a cafe, and then there's this Mekaleka Hai Mekahini Ho restaurant.
The Makahiki,
Yes.
which is the Bounty of the Island buffet, which is where
That
the
is.
character breakfasts are, which is where I believe you got a drink at Mecca. Or no, you actually had a meal there.
We had a meal. We
Okay.
ate there, and the food was really good.
Okay.
I'm not a big buffet person.
Okay. Mr. Vegas isn't a big buffet
No,
person?
and it's not the matter of the buffet; it's the matter of the people at the buffet. People are just gross.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rick
Gross
West
at buffets.
Rick West hates people.
Well, yeah, that's not a secret. And you can't even get me to go, Jeff, no, I love people. No, I'm not a people fan. I'm not a people person.
This man who runs a convention called Midsummer Scream and invites thousands of people to come enjoy, hates people.
I'm not a people fan.
You're like, you'll be up in the green room looking down at them.
People say to me, and you design theme parks. Well, yeah, but I don't have 50,000 people at my desk with me while I'm designing things.
Can you imagine if you did that?
No,
That'd be great.
I wouldn't want that.
No, you'd get lots of good input, I'm sure. Anyway, Makahiki. Now, they do have something they didn't have when I was there. Actually, they were building the adult pool when I was there. Because as I said, it was
I
early
saw a
on.
jacuzzi.
Yeah, the jacuzzi's there.
There's a jacuzzi that overlooks
the infinity
yeah,
pool
stunning,
jacuzzi.
yeah.
Beautiful. And they didn't have a luau when I was there, which I thought was so weird. We went off property to go to a luau. Disney did not have their own luau, and I was like, okay.
Do they now?
They do now.
They
it's
do,
called
okay.
Kaua'a, a luau at Aulani. And they
Resort and spa.
Exactly. At Aulani, a Disney resort and spa.
Yeah, a Disney resort.
That's the full title. Kaua'a, a luau at Aulani, a Disney resort and spa. There we go. That's the full title.
And that's still shorter than the Hawaiian name.
Yeah, right.
For it. Yeah.
But I was shocked. I was like, okay, of all things I would expect Aulani to have, A luau is one of them. Number one,
Sure.
like
Yeah.
luau is typical when it comes to Hawaii, and number two, like that's where you really get people coming in who aren't staying.
Well, and the Polynesian has one in Florida.
Exactly. So I was very surprised. I'm happy to say they do have one now. To be honest, I'm not a luau guy. I've gone to quite a few. Did you do one?
I've never done one.
They're not that great. I find them to be like, you think of what a traditional luau is, and then like you get a very corporate version of it. Like you're all sitting at like, tables. It's not like you're sitting in the sand. It's not what you expect. It's very.
What do you expect? I don't even know what I expect.
I expect what you see on TV and in the movies, and I don't even
know what that is. Is that like a Hawaiian version of medieval times?
Yeah, you expect
where you're a savage tearing a pig apart with your hands,
roasting the pig in the ground and stuff like. I don't know. I've never had like a great luau experience, and
drinking out of coconuts.
Yeah, like stuff like that. Yeah.
No.
But I don't know. It's very corporate, every luau I've ever done. So I'm not a huge fan. I haven't done the one at Aulani. Perhaps it's fantastic. If I went back to Aulani, I probably would try it just because it's Disney doing it. So I always expect it to be better than the rest have done. Now I'm going to mention something that's going to be weird because this isn't at Aulani. It's actually across the street. I'm mentioning this for my sister Andrea because she became obsessed with a restaurant across the street called Monkey Pod Kitchen. And there's a few of them in Hawaii. It's a small chain over there. But she says if you go, get the jalapeno mashed potatoes.
Wow, that sounds good.
Chocolate cream pie. And the mahi-mahi tacos. Now, she was staying at Aulani. This was a different time.
But she would walk to Monkey Pod.
3 times.
Yeah.
3 times she was there. Right. There is a cool little shopping district across the street.
It's a really high-end area.
Yeah, it's really nice.
And that's right across the street, up the street a little way. It looks like it's kind of like an outlet.
Yeah.
A high-end outlet thing, right?
Yep.
That whole area was kind of like, you know what it felt like? It felt like, because I was surprised just in general with Oahu, every quadrant, every section of the island feels so different and looks so drastically different than the other sections of the island.
Sure.
This whole area where Aulani is and all this, it reminds me of Newport Beach.
Okay.
Right? It's the Newport Beach.
Yeah.
It's the really high-end Newport Beach area of Oahu. It really is.
It's nice. So I definitely, if you're going to stay there, I would say go walk around to the other resorts just to see how much better.
They've probably got rad. All these resorts right there. Probably you could go bar hopping.
Yeah, you could. If that's your thing.
Rad bars. Yeah, that'd be really cool to do that.
And then across the street, check out Monkey Pod. I actually went there as well. I think a couple times with my family, and we really enjoyed it as well.
So I think Monkey Pod. I think those are the names of what they have really cool dramatic trees.
Yes, it's a tree.
Monkey Pod trees, right?
Yep.
And I was talking to Noah and Angelina, and I was like, it's kind of interesting that these are Monkey Pod trees. But why? The only thing that could make Hawaii better, monkeys.
Oh, if they had them.
Why aren't there monkeys in Hawaii? There's not lemurs. There's no monkeys. There's nothing.
I've never thought about it.
Well, now you're thinking about it. And there should be monkeys.
I went hiking.
It's tropical.
Yeah.
It's jungle. Why aren't there monkeys, Jeff?
I don't know. Why are there palm trees in L.A.?
Well, we have monkeys, too. So that's beside the point. There should be monkeys in Hawaii.
Okay, well,
I think your listeners are going to absolutely agree. We'll
ship some over.
People have completely I could hear the forehead slapping from coast to coast. I could hear the forehead slapping, going, "Rick is so right. There should be monkeys.
There should be monkeys.
There should be monkeys in Hawaii.
Well, there are monkey
All you
pod
need are 2.
trees.
You need 2.
How long would it take to populate the island?
Probably pretty fast for monkeys. I'm just saying. All you need is 2.
One of the things I do want to hit upon, just
maybe a little monkey music.
Speaking of music, okay, tell me if they did this or not when you were there. I don't think they do this, and what a missed opportunity. Do you know Lava? Yes, the Pixar short Lava. Did you hear that song played anywhere at Aulani? Because I love the song from Lava.
I don't know. I've only seen it once, so I don't even know that I would know.
A long, long time ago, there was a volcano in the middle of the sea. I have a dream. I
haven't heard it. I didn't hear it there, but I might have, and I wasn't listening.
And it's played on the ukulele.
On a ukulele.
And I'm like, come on, they need to
play
on
the toilet.
No,
he could have played it on the toilet. You never know. That was a brilliant idea.
It's not a great idea.
Time management. It's a beautiful idea.
No.
But
how much time do you spend in the bathroom? I don't want to know. Forget I asked that question. They should be playing
way too long.
music.
Wait, no,
I don't want to.
No, because all your listeners are going to be like, oh my God, Rick is so truth right now. Way too long. Because you get in the bathroom, you finish your business, and you're still in the middle of whatever you're doing. You're posting something. So way too long. The minute you take your phone into the bathroom, you're already in there way too long.
Don't take your phone into the bathroom.
Well, I got to watch too now.
Oh, jeez. That's why I will not.
The Apple Watch.
Somebody wanted to give me the Apple Watch, and I said no. He was going to give me. I was like, I do not need that in my life.
So I wear it in the shower, and I
No.
I text on it when I'm in the shower.
I don't need that. I listen to podcasts in the shower.
I'm like nonstop with this.
Yeah, I hope somebody listens to Disney Coast to Coast in the shower. That would like be a full circle.
I think I have,
because I
listen to podcasts in the shower.
Okay, that's where
I'm like 2 years behind on my podcast, but I listen. I just listened to one of yours. I forget which one it was, but yeah, I'm in March of last year.
Oh, good. Well,
that's what I'm at.
You're a little less than a year behind. It's cool. You'll get there eventually.
Yeah, I'm sure I will.
So one of the aside from the lava music, one of the things that is missing for me, and I'm going to assume this is the legal thing, but they have the most perfect place to shoot off fireworks at Aulani in the middle of the ocean on a barge.
They do it like on New Year's Eve and stuff. They do it.
Then it should be at least every
nightly
weekend.
thing?
Nightly in the summer, at least once a week. So if you're there for a week, you'll get to experience it. Like
there's got to be there has to be some sort of coastal or sea life or something.
That's my
something
guess.
ordinance.
That's my guess.
That.
But
because it does litter and it does.
But having said that, Disney Cruise is the only cruise line allowed to shoot off fireworks because it's illegal to shoot them off of ships in the middle of the ocean as well. So if Disney Cruise can get that permit to say, hey, you can have your nightly fireworks shows once a week, twice a week, Aulani fireworks show, I want that so badly. And like I said, I'm sure I'm not the first person to have thought of it. I'm sure some people work that have thought of it, and it's a legal thing, but it's a bummer.
Well, and this is a whole other discussion too. But does it have to be fireworks? Could it be lights?
A world of color in the ocean,
registered projection. It could be a giant mist screen. Sure,
something.
All sorts of stuff.
I would
right?
love some sort of.
You could do all sorts of things.
Yeah. Or maybe they're just being greedy. And they're like, you know what? That would be free entertainment to all of the neighbors staying at the other hotels. I don't know, but
be.
There's something
all
about
the freeloaders like me coming and sitting there on their. I broke the law without my band.
Without the band
breaking the law.
Yeah,
just sitting there drinking my green flash.
I don't think you were supposed to be sitting there, but that's all right.
We apparently weren't. I guess because I think Noah and Angelina they said too. You're supposed to have a band for all this, but we just plopped right down.
Well, I mean,
we would have played dumb tourist. If somebody had said something, we would have been like, "Oh,
yeah," and literally, but all you would have had to do is sit on the sand next to that chair, and they couldn't have kicked
or lawn. There was a lawn we were going to sit on too,
and they couldn't have done anything. So,
a lawn at Aulani,
the Aulani lawn,
the Aulani lawn. Say that 5 times.
Aulani lawn, Aulani lawn, Aulani lawn, Aulani lawn, Aulani lawn. I almost made it.
Just major crash and burn right there.
So this is a kind of tough question, but. If you were going to spend the money, both of these things are very expensive endeavors. But if you're going to spend the money, would you go on a Disney cruise or go to Aulani for a week?
Oh, I would say Aulani. Absolutely.
Me too.
Because you have the whole island.
I would. I mean, now they have Castaway Cay on the cruise.
But now if you change it and say, but you can't leave the resort.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Then it gets.
Then let's change it. You can't leave the resort.
Oh my God! I just made it so much harder. I would say probably.
But I mean, by saying that, then I would say you can't leave the ship, or you can go on Castaway Cay.
And this is for a week.
Yeah, but you can't go on any of the excursions off the ship other than Disney-owned Castaway Cay.
I'd probably stay at the resort.
Aulani.
Yeah, I would probably do the resort.
I've done both.
I've never been on a cruise.
A cruise ever, or just a Disney cruise? Okay.
Not horribly appealing to me.
Yeah, well, people. Number
you
one.
Have people, you have Titanic, you have Poseidon, know.
Oh, you're worried about Titanic situation.
But no, not really. But I mean, I have always wanted to, and this is on my bucket list, which means I'm going to do it, because I'm all about doing it now. But I would like to go to like Prince William Sound and do like the Alaska one and see like the orcas and stuff like that. Yeah. That I would kind of like to do, just an easy one right up the coast. But I'm not a huge traveler.
Yeah.
So I can't see I'm going to go on a 2-week cruise to Norway. I'm not that guy. I just don't do that.
Well, as a person who has done both a Disney cruise and Aulani, I would say if you have an option to do either, I would choose Aulani. I don't think most people would, but there was something to me extraordinarily magical about Aulani. It's one of my favorite things Disney's ever created, and I'm obsessed with it. So I love the fact that you, even as somebody visiting the resort, had such a great time.
It was one of the highlights of my trip. And I literally, we did like everything
Yeah.
on the island.
And I want to say, tangent, if you are on this island, they do offer a movie tour. This has nothing to do with Aulani. There's a movie tour. You can go to the area where you saw the Gallimimus herd in Jurassic Park, the original film. I did that.
How much was that for you?
The tour?
Yes.
Oh, it wasn't expensive, I don't think.
It's like $200 a person now.
Really? The
Yes.
bus tour?
Yes. It takes you like on the interior into the valley there.
Oh yeah, we definitely did not pay that.
No one, and because they showed me, like, I got pictures and stuff, like you could see some of the mountain range. I took
Yeah.
some pictures in front of that, and
Yeah.
I did like an augmented reality T-Rex
Sure.
that I put up.
Yeah.
You know. But to go to the interior where they shot,
Yeah.
dude, it's like $200 a
Really?
person now.
Oh, well, it's
and they're
not
like,
worth-
that's why we haven't gone. And I'm like,
It's not worth that.
holy God, that's a lot of that just to ride in to see like.
It's
Kind of,
literally
sort of
hills.
look like- yeah.
It's just hills.
It looks like that over there. We could have seen that for free.
Yeah.
You know, but so there.
That's funny.
Oh well, it's a touristy thing, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna, yeah.
I don't think it was that much when we went. But if you're a big JP fan like I am, kind of worth it. It's kind of cool. Anyway, anything else you want to add about Aulani, a Disney resort and spa before we...
I've got a funny story.
Let's hear it.
So this is a funny story. So in the spiritual center of the resort is the Pico Rock.
Yes.
And so I'm sure some of your listeners are familiar. Some of them are not familiar. So the island, people representing the island and cultural, they presented Disney with this rock.
Did you know they also named the resort? The Hawaiian
No,
people,
I didn't know that.
The Hawaiian people named it Aulani.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. So they gave Joe and the team this Pico Rock. And it looks like a big piece of, like, I don't know, the layman's terms would be, it looks like a big piece of white lava rock is what it looks like, right? And so, but Joe Rohde and his team, they're very, very keen on details like this. Mm-hmm. So this team, you know, they located the spiritual center of the resort, and they kind of put it in the middle of this, whatever it's called, Waikihole Valley or whatever it is. We're just going to call it that. And, it was really funny because when we were going, I'm like, we got to go see this Pico Rock. I've heard about this since the beginning, and I want a picture with this mystical rock, you know. And so we got there, and they're like, and Noah and Angelina are like, well, where is it? I'm like, I have no idea. I'm like, at the spiritual center.
Yeah. I will naturally be pulled there.
It's somewhere at the spiritual center. And I said to him, look, I have read about this and heard about this for years. I am sure, especially knowing like how fanatical Joe is about being just like in tune with all this stuff, I'm sure that it's a major part of the training. That every cast member there, I said, we'll just ask somebody and they're going to tell us where it is. Mm-hmm. I went on this tangent for 10 minutes about how this is like one of the most sacred parts of this resort, right? So we get there and we start wandering outside, and we have no idea where it is. There's like no map. There's no wayfinding sign that says Pico Rock,
Sure.
you know, that way, you know, whatever. And so Noah goes up to the first cast member we see, and he asks him, and the guy just turns around and goes, dude, I don't know. I'm just a lifeguard. And we just immediately started laughing because I went on for 10, 15 minutes about how magical and how I'm sure that this is like pounded into you into training, you know. And the dude he couldn't have cared less. He's like, dude, I'm just a lifeguard. I don't know. And so we instantly, normally we would have been kind of like horrified, you know, but we just started busting up because I had like sold this so freaking hard that everybody's going to know where this magical rock is. But anyway, now to that end, we started walking then, and there are these two female cast members that were walking by us, and we asked, and they knew right away.
Yeah.
And they pointed us to it, and we went, and there it was.
I will also say I took they offer free tours, or at least they did when I was there, of the, you know, to take you around the resort and point out stories like that and the architecture of the buildings and stuff.
It's huge. Wait, you're talking about, it was a lot bigger in person than I thought it was going to be.
I don't remember thinking if it was bigger or smaller, to be honest.
Outside, on the trails there by Wikiwaki Valley.
Yeah.
I was shocked at how tall the towers are.
Oh, the towers are big.
The towers are, they're so big.
Yeah.
I don't even know what they've got to be taller than like the Matterhorn here at Disneyland.
Yeah.
They're huge.
Yeah, they're big.
I was really surprised. I thought they would be a little bit lower. I don't know what I was thinking, but you know, I was just really taken by, first of all, how impressive. I mean, it was very pretty.
Oh, it's
right?
gorgeous.
The aesthetics are just
It's gorgeous.
ridiculous, right? But it was really freaking tall. When you're standing there in the shadow of this thing, it's like a monolith that just rises into the Hawaiian sky.
And it creates shade for that whole little area, which is really nice.
Yeah, it's really cool.
They do have space to expand. I'm curious if that's going to happen or not. Because right next door, there was definitely like an open grass lot. And I was like, I wonder if they're going to put in another tower.
Do you know what I was surprised, not surprised? Does that make sense?
No.
Yes, I was surprised, but not surprised.
Okay.
That there's not like a mega like Trader Sam's, right?
Oh, sure.
Like I figured there would be like this would be like the ultimate grotto place. You go in and it's like full of this, nothing. So surprised, but not surprised because the entire island is Trader Sam's.
Yeah.
I mean, right?
So maybe that's why they did.
Two on the nose.
Maybe two on the nose, and also maybe not authentic enough.
Right. And I get that.
Yeah.
And I totally get that.
So,
but yeah, so that was maybe a little bit of a surprise.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was just great. Now, so then the question is like, I don't know. Like I'm planning to go back fairly soon to visit them. They're opening a bar in Chinatown.
Your friends, yes, not Aulani.
Not Dizney. Noah and Angelina. They're opening. It's going to be called the Skull and Crown Trading Company. Plug. It's opening before the summer or early summer in Chinatown, and it is going to be.
There's a Chinatown in Hawaii?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's actually very cool.
Okay.
It's really old, and it has all the buildings have been restored, and they have like the years on all the buildings.
That ties into my trivia question.
And all that stuff. Yeah, well, it goes into the 20s and all that stuff. And so what's also really cool is, back in the day, every Chinatown, every town, everywhere, they had neon signs. Well, they preserved like a couple of these signs in China, and they light them at night. Now, I think it happens to say something like, nude girls or live girls or something. But they light it at night, and the business is long gone. But it's cool because they keep that, and there's some original, like there's a painting on one of the, it's funny because it's like Disney type theming, but it's not Disney. It's authentic stuff.
Sure.
But they have like an old like taxi stand sign, and it's like you could tell that it's just like faded, but they've left it there.
Yeah.
Really cool stuff. So this bar that they're opening, I know this becomes a commercial, but listeners are going to enjoy this if they get to Oahu. Noah and Angelina have gone all over the island, and they've bought like amazing, really eclectic pieces from some of the most legendary bars and businesses on the island. And they also, they have a shop here where they do masks and makeup and sculpture pieces and stuff here in Los Angeles. And they're making a giant mermaid that's going to be in a glass case there. So it's going to be a cross between Skull and Crown is going to be a cross between like Trader Sam's and the Adventurers Club.
Oh, well.
Dude.
That's right up Disney fans' alley.
I'm going to be helping them with some of their like legend writing and stuff like that for the. Dude,
do they have a website yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
And but soon.
It'll be Googleable soon.
Yeah. Yep. You play with your Google and look at Skull and Crown Trading Company, and it's coming and it's going to be great. Oh, I'm so excited for them. And
are they going to invite me out for the opening?
Probably not.
They probably should.
But
come on, we just plug the heck out of them.
I know.
You got to play this for them.
I'm gonna go. I want to be at the opening of it, and it's just it's really exciting because it's like legit like Trader Sam's and Adventurers Club.
That's cool.
Really cool, but like on the more dark side of things, which is, oh God, I can't wait for that.
So that's something to do outside of Aulani.
Yeah.
I do want to mention, guys, if you ever plan on going to Aulani and you're worried about like just not being able to get around, from one side of the island to the other is about a 45-minute drive, if that.
Oh, the island,
it's small.
It's like 33 miles by 48 or something like that. It's tiny.
So just keep in mind, like, getting around is not all that difficult. Aulani can help you with that. If you're going to the island and you feel like, oh, I'm too far from Aulani to visit, you're never too far from Aulani if you're on that island. So go visit it. Go check it out. It's very, very cool.
Wait, I know where I was going with that whole thought before I got derailed.
Sorry.
Into Skull and Crown Trading Company. The question was if I would return and visit again. Like, if I go to Oahu, like the next time I go
to Aulani
like, do I have to go to Aulani? I don't know. Just because the island itself, everything is just so magical and awesome on the island. There are things like we didn't do Diamond Head.
Okay.
Right. We didn't hike that. We didn't do like a lot of that stuff. I didn't go in the water.
You got to go in the water.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if I would go every time.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, I would.
Maybe to have drinks
Come
or
on,
whatever.
I was going to say, you're such a bar guy.
Yeah,
Go-
maybe. Sure, maybe.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of cool bars on Hawaii.
Yeah, but
on Oahu. So, but I definitely, I mean, if you haven't been and you find yourself on Oahu, you gotta.
Another thing
You gotta.
There's also a Hawaii, I don't know if theme park's the right word, and I honestly don't even remember the name
There's
of
like
the
a
place.
sea life park. There's a sea life
this
park
wasn't
that we passed by.
This was a place, this is actually a place I went for the Luau, but it's like a Hawaiian...
Is it the cultural center?
Maybe that's what it's
It's
called.
like outdoor market, and then they have a separate cultural center area
This
where
is
they
like
do
a
luau's?
separate... this is like a separate ticket admission place where you go and you like experience the culture of Hawaii, but it's like it has a theme park feel to it. Like it's a gated entrance sort of thing.
Are we sure we're not talking the same thing?
I
Over on North Shore?
I don't know.
Really?
I honestly don't know. I remember there's like a giant IMAX screen in there, but it was like showed a Hawaiian film inside. Like it was a very theme park feel.
Don't know. We walked through the cultural center, we walked through the marketplace section of it, and then we headed out.
Was there a place you had to pay to get in though?
No, I don't think so.
This was definitely like
No.
like a theme park. You walked through gates and paid admission. Anywho, Rick West, is there anything else you want to add about Aulani, a Disney resort and spa, before we jump into some trivia?
Just huge kudos to the entire team that developed it and designed this thing, Joe Rohde and the whole team that spearheaded this. It's just, it's one of those things where, and there are a lot of folks, the minute you say Disney, they kind of go, oh, okay, it's going to be plastic and theme parky.
Yeah, you
know
should
what?
not feel that way about Aulani.
It is so good. I mean, it's the same level of detailed design excellence as like an Animal Kingdom, right? And it's just,
but no ride. So like
beautiful,
taking away that Disney, like it just doesn't feel Disney to me.
It feels very Disney to me.
It doesn't.
But it's the sophisticated Disney.
Yeah,
It's not the you're in Fantasyland.
Yeah,
Disney, right? It's just God, what a beautiful project all the way around. So if you happen to be listening and you happen to work on the project or whatever, God, hats off to you, because what a stunning property.
and would both love to return. So if you are connected to the property, feel free to invite us.
There you go.
There we go. Anyways, I think that means it's trivia time. All right, Rick West, would you like to hit me with a trivia question first, or shall I hit you?
I think you go ahead and hit me, because you said something while we were talking that alluded to maybe the same trivia question that I wrote down for you.
Okay, well, let's see. So the weathered concrete bridge that
Yes, it's the same
the same exact question?
Yes.
Wow.
Go ahead and do it, though.
that traverses Wakaloha Stream is dated what?
1923, the founding date of the Walt Disney Company.
Okay, wow.
We both read the same page, obviously.
Did you read the fun fact under that on the page?
So wait, now I read here. So now that we know that yours is null and void, let's see if mine is null and void also. You ready?
I thought that was the question.
I wrote two.
Oh,
just in case.
I kind of have two, but
in
let's
case
see.
there was a duel.
Let's see.
Okay, so the feathered sticks located inside the lobby of the hotel are called kahilis.
Okay.
These are normally made with bird feathers and represent a family crest. Disney's own kahili is made of red, black, and white feathers to symbolize an important part of their family. What is it?
An important part of the legitimate Disney family?
Yes.
Or like the company?
The company.
The company of Disney. Red, white, and black, you said?
Yes.
Those are the colors of Gilbert Gottfried's character in Aladdin.
Mickey Mouse.
Oh, red.
I thought that was very
no
cool.
yellow. That's interesting. Usually when I think Mickey, I think red, black, yellow.
It's interesting though, right?
Another fun fact, Aulani is situated on land that was once used by the National Football League.
We looked at this.
How weird is this, though? The National Football League is a training site for the annual Pro Bowl game.
Why wouldn't it be?
That's so weird.
Why wouldn't it be?
Thank you for coming on, Rick West. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you for having me here to tear things up.
All of our social media can be found at DizneyCoastToCoast.com. And don't forget to leave those 5-star ratings and reviews on iTunes. I also want to give a shout out to Philip, Rio, Monet, Anna, Diego, and James who support the show on Patreon. If you want to support the show and get some cool rewards at the same time, head to patreon.com/DCTC or just head to DizneyCoastToCoast.com and click on Patreon there. Other than that, folks, have a magical day. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Disney Coast to Coast. Have a magical day.
Disney Coast to Coast is produced and hosted by Jeff DePauli. Learn more about the podcast and become a supporter at DisneyCoastToCoast.com.